Bim, guess what? It's time for bum 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 news at 8 on a Thursday. This is where I look at the news and events going on around the world, give my opinion on it, and then we lighten the load a little bit later on by having a look at some stuff that's amusing. Basically because the news is just, well, pretty dreadful, isn't it? It's all a bit meh. But there is some funny stuff going on as well. Hello Angela, hope you're well. We don't know all the news that's going on at the minute because there's quite a lot of news that's actually breaking as I sat down. So we will be looking at that. Hi T, we will find out... Oi! Cat's gone mad. We'll find out what's going on after we've done this. Not so bad, thank you. The breaking news thing at the bottom is just going breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. But yeah, we don't do breaking news here. You know, not yet anyway. So the main news of the week, and it started on Sunday from absolutely nowhere. Ukraine did some attacks on Russia, destroying. Sorry, the cat's having a mad... Oh, I don't know what's up with the cat. She's just gone... Woo! Destroying a lot of aeroplanes, mainly bombers. 117 drones were launched from inside Russia. Basically, it's taken, they reckon, a year to organise this. So the drones were in the back of lorries, big rigs, 18-wheelers, semis, that kind of thing, driven through Russia with these drones inside them. They were then parked up near the airports, and then at exactly the same time, thousands of miles apart, they all lifted off and they all started bombing the aeroplanes sat on the tarmac, which is the easiest way of destroying aeroplanes when they're sat on the tarmac. And it was quite impressive, to be fair. I mean, this still from it is just shows you the damage that's being inflicted. And yeah, fair play. Of course, there's always a problem. That was on the Sunday. Monday the 2nd of June, the day after the audacious attack by Ukraine, there was a meeting to discuss the ceasefire with Russia. I bet that went well. Meanwhile, Tuesday the 3rd, Ukraine attacks the Kerch Bridge between Russia and Crimea. They've already destroyed it once, and Putin famously drove over it to open it in a truck when it first opened, when they illegally took Crimea some years ago. On Wednesday the 4th, Putin says he will avenge the attack on his aeroplanes and says they are asking for a ceasefire. Why should we engage with them if they're not pausing the fighting? Hang on a minute, Putin. Who started this thing to begin with? I think you find it with you, mate. So if anyone should shut up and put up, I think it's Putin. Of course, if you're a person who criticises Putin and you're Russian, you usually end up falling out of a hotel window or committing suicide by shooting yourself 18 times in the head with a shotgun. This seems to be what happens to people who criticise. Now, Zelenskyy doesn't live in Russia, but as Trump has already said, having spoken to Putin, the reprisals are going to be bad, very bad. But the thing was, all the targets that we saw, and Putin's not saying anything different, were all military. Whereas Putin is quite happy to bomb apartment blocks, houses, schools, playgrounds, hospitals, infrastructure such as electricity substations, power stations, nuclear power stations. And that's fine. So he spits his dummy out when there's actually genuine, very, like I said, audacious attack that actually strikes somewhere that it should do. So yeah, well done to Ukraine. Now there was other news this week, there always is, so we will now do the rest of the news. Friday the 13th, Paul Doyle, who's the 53-year-old, who was appeared in court, Magistrates Court, regarding the charges, 7 charges read out, where he was the driver of the car allegedly that struck pedestrians at the celebrations in Liverpool for Liverpool FC's Premiership win parade. Jerry Adams wins a libel case against the BBC, £84,000 in damages, but overall the cost of the case is £2 million. To whom? Oh yes, us, who pay our TV licence. Musk leaves the Trump administration. I mean, yeah, did he do a lot? Don't know. He got a key though, massive key. It was like one of them keys you see on castles. Government sell the last part of the NatWest Bank, which was bought on the 13th of October. Well, it wasn't bought, it was claimed on 13th of October 2008. And the taxpayers lose £10 billion in these deals. So well done Labour government. Why not just keep hold of it, make the thing more profitable and sell it at a profit, later on, rather than just giving it all away like you do. Russell Brand, Freudian slip, pleads not guilty to all charges against him, including rape. Saturday the 31st, Trump says he's going to double steel tariffs from Wednesday gone, from 25% to 50% for all steel aluminium going into America. Hamas reject some of the peace deal, but requested amendments including Israel pulls out fully from Gaza, which I know Hamas are a terrorist organisation, blah blah blah, they deserve to be destroyed, blah blah blah, but what Israel's done is war crimes as equal if not worse. So yeah, absolutely, Israel needs to pull out, but not because Hamas says so. Let's not make Hamas the winners in this, although technically they might well be. I'll press the wrong button there. The cat's quieting down now. So yeah. Rescuers were not able to get to the village after the glacier collapse on Wednesday. We covered this on Wednesday. A massive glacier collapse, and now the village had been evacuated, but I think one person or a couple of people stayed at the houses, and rescue workers have not been able to get in and see if they're okay. Sunday the 1st of June. How is it June already? How is it June already? That means we're halfway through the year. I mean, that is nothing short of redonkulous. Why is that so small? Sorry, it's not like my accent. Oh, I know why it is, yeah, because I was doing, yeah, that's why, yeah. Okay, we're alright. So, yeah, the rescuers are getting in there. So, yeah, 1st of June, 20 dead, over 100 injured in Gaza. At an aid distribution site, the IDF deny everything. Although it was gunshots could be heard, and the IDF are saying, well, we did fire warning shots, but we didn't shoot anyone. Well over 1,100 migrants arrived on the Saturday into the country illegally on the small boats. But it's alright, Labour have got it all sewn up, and they'll tell us why it's happening, and it seems perfectly valid, to be fair. Reports were coming in as I was going to bed on Sunday of a terror attack in Boulder with people on fire. Turns out that there was someone throwing the equivalent of Molotov cocktails at a group of old age pensioners. Not heard much since, but it was a very serious incident indeed. Monday the 2nd of June. Stop with this June stuff. Starmer gives a defence review. We're going to get new attack submarines, up to 12. He did say 12, well they said, well, up to 12, so it might be 2. And 3 new munitions sites, and lots of other stuff as well, because he's realised all of a sudden that we need to spend money on defending the country. Problem is, we don't need to spend money on submarines, we don't need to spend money on army, we don't need to spend money on anything like that. We need to spend money on protecting the online infrastructure we've got, because if I was a dictator despot and I was determined to take over, say, a neighbouring country, rather than doing like Russia did, and invade, and it just stalls and loads of people die, all you do is you shut down the health service in that country. You can do it online. You shut down the infrastructure for the energy distribution, which then shuts down everything else as well. But you also interfere with the public transport, so the trains, all that kind of stuff, and you destroy the banking system as well. And a country would fall within days of that happening. So that's what we need to be looking at. That's the kind of attack we're going to get. And I've said this many times, World War III is more likely to be fought in the internet up there, or in here, this thing here, there, than it is people walking around with guns and shooting people, because those days are gone. Unless, of course, the Terminator robots from AI, which there may be one day, who knows. Oh, Annie, I didn't see you pop in. Hope you're good. New search for Madeleine McCann, 18 years after her disappearance. 18 years after her disappearance. I mean, yeah. She should be 21 now. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? Hopefully, they will find something, although there's breaking news tonight as well. Meanwhile, Mount Etna erupts quite magnificently, whilst people were stood pretty much next to it. Thankfully, no one was injured, and a lot of people nearby had been evacuated, because obviously they get seismic warnings now about such things. Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 27 Palestinians allegedly shot and killed by Israel. Israel said they did shoot, but not at civilians. But they did shoot at people who deviated from agreed routes to the aid, which seems totally reasonable. Hang on, what we got here? Trains don't run on time, so it doesn't make no odds. Very good. UK gets exemption on the 50% tariffs on steel, sticking at 25% for now. Don't get too excited. First day of search for Madeleine McCann includes now outbuildings as well as land, including geophys, which is the radar that looks into the ground to see if they can find any disturbance, which might hopefully put a lid on the horrendous thing. 18 years ago. I'm wondering about it being June already, but Madeleine McCann 18 years ago. It's unbelievable. The government now, I said before, I did promise you this, I teased you this, the government have come up with the absolute cast iron excuse that you cannot argue with no matter what, about the boat crossings being at record levels. The government say more boats crossing due to better weather. Yeah, they wish. Didn't the Tories say that as well a few times? And didn't Labour, when they were in opposition, absolutely poo-poo that and say that was one of the lamest excuses ever? Now they're just rolling them out one after the other. Wednesday the 4th, some pensioners will get the winter fuel payments this year. Now, we were discussing this last week, but they said, and I said, will they get it this year? Because if it's only in the autumn statements, then the autumn statement changes usually kick in the following spring, i.e. the 1st of April, so that would be 2 years. But anyway, apparently some pensioners will get the winter fuel payments this year, but we don't know whom or how you get it or whatever. But it is weird, isn't it? If you do call your entire life, so you don't work, you don't pay into the state, you don't have a pension pot or anything, you get pension credit, you get the £300 allowance, you get free bus travel and stuff like that. You get all this stuff for free. You get your thingy paid, your poll tax, council tax, whatever. Everything gets paid for you. Whereas if you work your entire life, you pay a pension pot into pension pot. You have to pay for everything, and they even take away the £300. I mean, this is this Labour government, and they think they've done good now. We've done good now, haven't we? Because we're going to give some pensioners their money back. Well, yeah, I dare say people like Elton John, Rod Stewart, and Alan Sugar don't really need the £300 a year. But anyway, we will see. There was also £50 million for public transport in the north of the UK. says Rachel from Accounts. So that's going to increase the metro network, which is now part of the B network in Manchester, to Stockport, but not to Bolton or Wigan. We only get thought of as an afterthought. And it's also going to increase the number of electric buses in Liverpool, which are ironically are yellow as well for no apparent reason. But anyway, we'll see if any of this comes to fruition. The US vetoed a resolution at the UN to declare a ceasefire and unlimited aid into and around Gaza, which in my opinion makes America as complicit now as basically Benjamin Netanyahu, who is, which basically means the Americans are war criminals because they are not doing anything to stop people starving, innocent people starving in Gaza, which is against human rights. So yeah, they are complicit. They're also selling weapons and all that kind of things to Israel. And whatever Benjamin Netanyahu's got over everyone in the West, let's just have it out and let's just stop these murders going on. Thursday the 5th, that is today. It's a brave new world. Search ends for Madeleine McCann. No information given on anything found, if anything. Ended a day earlier than expected, which could be tragically good news if they found something. But they won't say anything obviously until they've gone through all the evidence that they have found. The Reform UK chairman resigns as he has better things to do, my words, not his words, but basically what he said, than try and get reform in. Now this comes a day or two after a Reform MP asked in the House of Parliament if we should ban the burqa. There'll be a lot more of that in the future. Should we ban the burqa? It's a religious item. If you ban the burqa, do we have to ban crosses that people wear around their necks for being Christians or whatever? Do we ban face masks and that kind of thing, even though there's rumours that we might all have to wear face masks again soon due to another alleged super strain of COVID that's arrived in the UK and is currently going through various other countries around the world. We will wait and see. That one will roll and roll and roll. The Birmingham bin workers vote to continue their strike action. We've not heard a lot about the strike action. In fact, only a couple of days ago I was thinking, are they still on strike? Well, apparently they are. Israel issues evacuation order to the south of Beirut, which is in the Lebanon. It's not in Gaza. So they're attacking again from a whole new level. And I've done that wrong. I agree to a degree. But yeah, Israel, and everyone's like, oh well, yeah, you better move then, aren't you? No, it's where the people live, and they legally live there. The settlements that Israel are putting in there, the world sees as illegal, yet still lets them do it. I don't understand what they've got on everyone. Meanwhile, also breaking, Trump bans people from 12 countries from entering the USA to stop very bad people from going into the country. Sad thing is, Trump would still be there because technically he is an American, so they can't kick him out. Unless you can ban Americans from America because they are bad people. Ooh, it gets very complicated, doesn't it? Anyway, that was the news of the week so far. Remember, you can join in the chat and we can have a bit of a laugh now because we're looking at the news that makes me go, oh, that's cute. Or, oh my God, what the hell's that? Or, Trump, really? Are you that stupid? Which ties in with the last story that we've done on that one. What's going on here? Why are you like that? Eight. There you go. So, Nintendo, wrong way. Nintendo Switch 2 console left with holes in them. Nintendo 2 Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 even, easy for me to say. Bloody hell, I made hard work of that. Is the follow-up to the Switch, which has come out, but a shop worker at GameStop in America inadvertently damaged a series of new Nintendo Switch 2 consoles by trying to be helpful. He stapled, or they stapled, we don't know, the receipts to the boxes, and the staples went through the screens of the consoles. Genius. I mean, you don't do that. They shouldn't be working, or they shouldn't be working in a shop like that. Fancy air travel? Remember Concorde? Well, US engineers are to build a hydrogen system to fuel and cool future jets. Hydrogen aviation is no longer a theory. The cryogenic system delivers highly efficient flight without the extra weight or complexity. What have I been saying for ages? We need to look at hydrogen aeroplanes as well as hydrogen cars. That way we don't need to dig up lithium, we don't need to get rid of all the batteries, and the aeroplanes will be able to take off because they're not full of batteries, or have to land, after, fly to every airport like we can't even do that. They have to build something in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Oh no, they fly around, don't they, because it's quicker to fly up and round over Greenland, so they'd have to build a massive airport in Greenland where they could plug in and charge up your aeroplane because it's electric. No, hydrogen. Always been hydrogen. Don't listen to people who say anything else. You can listen to John Cleese though, I like John Cleese. He said once, one thing I remember about Christmas was my father used to take me on a boat about 10 miles offshore on Christmas Day, and I used to have to swim back. Extraordinary. It was a ritual. Mind you, that wasn't the hard part. The difficult bit was getting out of the sack. Starts off so well, doesn't it? John Cleese. Love him. The ancient Egyptians had 12 months of exactly 30 days each, with 5 days off partying at the end of the year, to bring the total of 365. I didn't even know the Egyptians had calendars. Never mind, they'd worked it out that well. So there were 12 months of 30 days. Why are there 12? Who come up with 12 months? But anyway, there's 12 months of 30 days, exactly. And then massive partying for 5 days at the end of the year. Genius. We do that anyway though, don't we? Taylor Swift. All of the music I've ever made now belongs to me. Taylor Swift, not me. Every single era, my entire life's work. Taylor Swift has shared a heartfelt note with her fans announcing she now has the rights for her entire body of work. Not her body, she keeps her body, she never lost her body. But this is all her early albums. In recent years, the singer has been re-recording and re-releasing her first 6 albums in an attempt to regain control of her music. But don't worry, Swifties, Reputation and Debut, Taylor's version, albums are still on the cards, so she's still going to record some of her early tracks, but she now owns the rights for everything. I'm surprised. I mean, when she's a kid, she didn't know necessarily about the ins and outs of owning your music, so she got ripped off by someone, but she's that rich, she could have just bought them back off whoever they had them anyway. I don't understand it. Anyway, we're not had a Banksy for a while. Well, we had one last week, last thing. But here's a lighthouse with a... it makes it look like the bollard is the lighthouse, but it's not, because if you look at the other bollards, the shadows go in the opposite direction, so it's like, it's not real, folks, it's not a real lighthouse. So the ancient Egyptians were quite impressive. What about the Romans? Romans were known to create tombs for their dogs and gave them epitaphs to remember them by. One such inscription read, I am in tears while carrying you to your last resting place, as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home with my own hands 15 years ago. And they've written it in English, because they invented English, the Romans. I mean, they're such incredible technology. No, okay, it's a mock-up. But, yeah, tombs to their dogs. Sadly, I just bury the cats in the backyard. Not in the backyard, in the garden. They don't get tombs. I know where they're all buried. But, yeah, they don't get tombs or anything. What am I doing? The biggest line known to man on a packet of bacon, this is, where it says peel here. Yeah, right, good luck with that. Please, if you're under 30, stop saying back in the day. Your day was 5 minutes ago. Sit down. I had that was it yesterday, the day before, I can't remember now, in shop, there was some college people in, and one of the guys said to the friends, "Oh my God, I had that years ago when I were a kid." And I'm like, "You're at college, you're still a kid, mate." It's like, no, stop it. Scientists say dogs are entering a new phase of evolution. Phase, not face. The good news is they're not going to glow and have glowing white eyes. No. Scientists believe dogs may be entering a new stage of evolution as they continue to adapt closely to human environments. Well, they're in them all the time, so they have to adapt, don't they? Pigeons have adapted to human environments. Crows have adapted to human environments. Foxes have adapted to human environments. And rats, well, yeah. Their social intelligence is advancing, with some dogs demonstrating an ability to interpret human emotions and communicate more efficiently with people, or effectively with people, than even some primates. In urban areas, certain stray dogs have learnt to navigate city life independently, using crosswalks, so zebra crossings, that kind of thing, public transport as well, suggesting cognitive shifts in response to modern challenges. We all know you can train dogs to do stuff. And cats are pretty smart as well, aren't you, Silence? She's back now, but she's calmed down, so that's good. 105-year-old saying, this is what I was talking about last week. I put the picture on my wrong phone, I put it on the works phone. 105-year-old says her secret to long life is stay single and drink beer. Well, I'm single, I've never been married, and I drink beer. So here's to another 150 years of me. I'd be happy with 150 days at the moment, to be fair. Kathleen Hennings, a 105-year-old woman from the UK, attributes her longevity to two unconventional choices: enjoying a daily pint of Guinness, or 4, and remaining single. Born in 1919 in Brixton, London, Hennings pursued a career as an accountant and spent her leisure time attending dances, operas and ballets. She later moved to the Cotswolds in 1965 with her family. So, yeah, that's the key, apparently. Not that I'm condoning or saying you should drink, but I do find if I don't have Guinness, because I do so much stuff, my energy levels drop and I get ill. So I'm doing it medicinally now, but I am trying to cut down a little bit what I'm drinking. Yeah. I have no idea why my PlayStation is making weird noises. A missing drunk man spent hours helping a search party look for himself. A missing man in Turkey accidentally joined his own search party for hours before realising he was the person they were looking for. Benyan Mutul had been drinking with friends on Tuesday when he wandered into a forest in Bursa province. When he failed to return, his wife and friends alerted local authorities and a search party was sent out. Mr. Mutul, 50, then stumbled across the search party and decided to join them. But when the members of the search party began calling out his name, he replied, "I am here." It's like people who go, "Oh, hi Kim, I didn't see you join." It's like people going to their own funerals, isn't it? Or not going to their own funerals, but kind of being in the coffin and then waking up. Joining your own search party and finding yourself. I mean, that's I found myself in the woods while other people were looking for me. Aussies are eating more chicken than ever, consuming over 50 kilograms yearly on average. 50 kilograms? Amateurs. A winner chicken dinner, it says. This is from Australia. Australians are consuming record amount of chicken as the popularity of beef and lamb takes a dive. No, that's because the price of beef and lamb has took a hike. Shoppers say the choice is price related, with the cost of beef and lamb and pork all significantly rising in the last 2 decades, while the price of chicken incurred a more modest hike. So yeah, I eat a lot of chicken. I've not done myself a Sunday roast for a while, so I'm going to do myself a Sunday roast in the air fryer this weekend. But yeah, I eat a lot of chicken. I've got chicken wings ready for tonight, and you've seen all the cooking videos with chicken and different sauces and all that kind of thing. I just love chicken. I think it's brilliant. Ain't that much chicken. I probably would be a chicken. Only sport I follow is F1. We won't talk about Max Verstappen. He's admitted he made an error of judgment, which is more than Lewis Hamilton did in Baku a few years ago. But anyway, Lance Stroll swore at team members after qualifying exits. Now, Lance Stroll is one of the... My dad owns the company, so I race the car, but I'm really not very good. Racing drivers basically paid to race. And he didn't qualify well. And then apparently he had a temper tantrum and hurt his hand, which he broke a couple of years earlier. And then he had to withdraw from the rest of the weekend. And the guy is absolute pain in the posterior. But apparently Max Verstappen might be going there, because that's where Adrian Newey's gone. Adrian Newey being the person who designed the... Anyway, let's have a top 10. Da, 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 da. I nearly went down Dan Buster's route then, but I was trying to do the... I'll do the... top of the venomous animals on our planet. So yeah, this is the top 9. I accidentally forgot to do number 8, but it doesn't matter. Who's at number 1? What's at number 1? Is it Benjamin Netanyahu? Or is it Putin? Or is it George W. Bush? Sadly, none of them feature in this chart. So, straight in at number 10, it is the Indian red scorpion with a fatality rate of 40%. This chart taken from Explaining the Universe, available on various platforms at Explaining the Universe on Snapchat. These were from, and it is a really good channel to follow because it comes with some right miserable, interesting stuff. Sorry, just realised that's a guy's hand that's in. Straight in at number 9, it's the funnel web spider. Venom can kill a child in only 15 minutes. Where do I get it from? No, I'm joking. Straight in at number 7. Don't ask about number 8. Don't ask about number 8. The dubious sea snake, the deadliest of all sea snakes. I'm a bit dubious about that, though, if you ask me. Da, 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 da. At number 6, we've got the coastal taipan. If left untreated, there is a 0 chance you will survive. Da, 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 da. The cone snail at number 5 contains enough venom to kill 20 adult humans. Do, 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 do. No, I've gone the wrong way. Iraqi jellyfish is in at number 4, causes brain hemorrhages and no anti-venom. It will kill you. Now into the super top 3. At number 3, it's the blue-ringed octopus. One bite can kill up to 26 men. There is no antidote. How big is its mouth if it can bite 26 men in one bite? No wonder it's number 3. Straight in, number 2, the inland taipan snake. One drop can kill 100 adult men in 45 minutes. How you get a drop between 100 men, I have no idea. But don't try it, folks, it's dangerous. And still at number 1, after millennia, at number 1, it is the box jellyfish, widely considered the most venomous animal, causing death in mere minutes. That is the top 10 deadliest animals in the world. But then, we've got a late entry. Top of the charts next week is the 300 worms from Siberian permafrost that were thawed out, and 2 of them come back to life. One of them 32,000 years old, and the other is 41,000 years old. They're bringing them back to life. These things we don't know anything about. These things that have not been alive for tens of thousands of years. Russian scientists found 300 prehistoric worms in Siberian permafrost, and they were able to revive 2 of them. One worm was estimated to be around 32,000 years old, while the other one was estimated to be 41,700 years old, which is a very exact estimation. After being frozen for thousands of years, these ancient worms began moving and eating shortly after thawing, which is terrifying. They're on about this bacteria as well, which will probably wipe out the entire planet, which, to be fair, for the planet's case, might be a good thing. Anyway, that was the most deadliest things on the planet, although obviously we're going to be talking about Putin at some point. Flaming June on its way as 31 degrees Spanish scorcher arrives and beer sales set to soar. Cheers to that. Pub owners across the land are celebrating as meteorologists predict next week will be an absolute scorcher as 400-mile wall of Spanish heaters scheduled to hit the way. That's the good news. The bad news is this was from last week. This week we've just got rain. So the pub landlords have ordered all the extra beer and people are not going out because it's in downward rain. Elon Musk says it's 50-50 he'll land on Mars next year. He needs to get lucky. And that was a dog that Joe Boxer's had. Just got lucky. It was their dog, a little cute dog, but I think it's dead now, so I don't think that's going to work because that was like 40 years ago. But anyway, space billionaire insists progress is being made towards seeing one of his Tesla Optimus humanoid robots walking around on the surface of Mars. Despite his rocket flops. We've all had a rocket flop every now and then, haven't we? I say rocket, I mean maggot. Greg Sausage Roll, dubbed Ultimate British Icon, gets a Madame Tussauds waxwork. The UK public has spoken and announced their new biggest icon, and it's now being immortalised through wax and put on display for visitors across the world to see. But is it not one of them things that you could just leave out and it would never ever go mouldy or anything? So why go to the trouble of making a waxwork one? Either that or it's probably Prince Andrew's Todger, because obviously they've had to melt Prince Andrew down, so they probably just use this Todger instead as the sausage roll. Trump suggests Joe Biden was executed in 2020 before being replaced by a clone. Oh, Trump is so sensible, it's unbelievable. US President Donald Trump has sparked his latest conspiracy and claimed that his former competitor in the political race is in fact not himself, but rather an actor. Isn't that what we say about a certain Vladimir Putin? But there's about 9 of them. Trump carries on. Self-obsessed Trump has himself pointing at camera as his phone lock screen. The Orange Man Baby has been mocked for having what looks like AI-generated image of himself on his phone, with social media users branding him a narcissist because he's like that. Maybe he's trying to shoot himself. I don't think we'd have a problem with that, would we? Let's get Putin involved. He knows how to get people to shoot themselves. Very heavy man, fat man, sues Walt Disney World after injuring himself on a water slide. A man has claimed a Disney water slide launched him through the ride at an exhilarating speed, so powerful his 334-pound body was left momentarily airborne, caused him to suffer catastrophic injuries. Now, I must admit, I feel sorry for the guy if he's hurt himself and all that, but I feel more for the bloody slide. Can you imagine that landing on you? Bloody hell. Vaping sickening side effects. A study shows it's even worse than smoking. Really? The world's first controlled study into the long-term effects of vaping has found that e-cigs are so harmful that the restrictions on their sales should go much further and cover refillable vapes too. No, Sherlock. You're buying, I've said it so many times, you're buying a little capsule of chemicals in like oil-based thing, which you then put in a contraption which has a thing that goes around it, a coil, that heats that up so that it turns into vapour. And then these chemicals you ingest into your mouth, down your throat and into your lungs. How is that ever going to be good for you? Ever. And now they just realise it. I mean, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a professor, I'm not a doctor. But I've known since vaping pretty much came along that it's not good for you. And now, all of a sudden, oh my God, who knew? Oh, it's bad for you. What they should do with vapes is only sell vapes that are cigarette flavoured, i.e. taste like shite. None of these fancy flavours. Okay, they've got rid of in the UK, we've got rid of the single-use vapes now. They are now banned, although people have stockpiled them, obviously, because they're stupid. But yeah, all flavours should be banned, apart from Benson and Hedges flavour, Marlboro flavour, or Woodbine flavour, or whatever your choice of cigarette is. You can have those flavours, but that is it, because the idea is to take you off smoking. But of course, if this is more dangerous, then maybe just ban them all together and just get people onto cigarettes, because they'll live longer. The people are going to be dropping dead from vaping who've been doing it for 10, 15 years. It's going to be phenomenal over the next, I say, 5 to 10 years. It's just going to be unbelievable, the amount of people who are going to die because of vaping. And it's like, it's so obvious. I don't understand why anyone has ever thought it's a good idea. Anyway, as I said, I'm not a doctor or a scientist or anything. That's just my opinion. You can agree with it, you can disagree with it. It doesn't really matter. My opinion is my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. If you do vape, though, I suggest you stop immediately. And I mean immediately. Meanwhile, Britain was going to be surrounded by octopuses, or octopi, octopuses, octopus, I don't know. What's the plural of octopi? I don't know. Britain is saved now from octopus invasion by hungry ocean pals who've eaten them all. Invading octopuses have been repelled by Risso's dolphins, hungrily defending our shores by eating them on the way to our shores. So yeah, if you're a dolphin, Risso, whoever you are, your dolphins are brilliant. Keep it up. Keep it up, yeah. And do you feel better for it, Angela? Genuine question, because I don't know, I've never vaped. So do you feel better for it now than you did when you were vaping? Have you got more breath? Are you coughing less, that kind of thing? Brits will get painful deaths in nuclear apocalypse as Putin hits back at the Prime Minister. After Sir Keir, we're already having a painful death with the Prime Minister we've got, and it's slow. So Putin can quicken it up a bit. You do feel better. There you go then, you see. Proof. In a survey, 100% of people questioned said that their health improved dramatically when they quit vaping. Can't argue with that. I mean, look at the adverts on the TV when they say 79% of women said their wrinkles were reduced, and then you have a look and it's 79% of 103 women. Anyway, after Sir Keir Starmer yesterday unveiled his defence review, one of Vladimir Putin's leading mouthpieces said he can't understand why the British have gone mad. No, I don't think any threats by Putin are real. I think he's lost his terrifying thing with the invasion of Ukraine. I mean, let's be honest. The might of Russia should have crushed Ukraine in hours. And we're 3 years in, maybe more. And they've still took a slither of Ukraine. And fair play to the Ukrainians. Okay, they've had help from Western allies. But still, it's the Ukrainian people who've actually done the hard work and held him off. So no, as I've said many times before, and I write in the paper, I don't know if you read the paper or not, Wigan Today, if you go on the opinions part of Wigan Today, it's click on news, comes up with loads of things, it says opinions, click on opinions, and then look for my ponders, and you'll see loads and loads of them. I do one every week. And I've said many times, including this week, that World War III will be fought as a cyber warfare, because feet on ground don't work. It's not working in Gaza. It's not working in Lebanon. It's certainly not working in Ukraine. But, as I said earlier on in this broadcast, if you affect the internet of a state that you want to damage or get money from, all you do is shut down the energy companies, shut down the health service, shut down the transport, shut down the banking, and just shut the internet off, and that country will fall in days. So yeah, I think if he's going to destroy us, he'll do it that way. And look at all these hacks that are going on at the minute. M&S was like the one that's still affecting M&S at this minute until next month. Apparently, it's going to take them that long to sort it out. Why would you ever give all your information to a supermarket to get 1p every pound you spend money back? I mean, I've got a club card for Tesco, but as far as Tesco are concerned, I'm called Anita. So Anita, she loves a Guinness. It's not. I mean, it's just a random name I chose, and I thought I'd choose a different sex as well. So if they do get hacked, they'll get my address, but they won't get my email because I give them a false email, and they won't get my name, so they won't be able to do anything with that information. I've used a false name on my cards, on my Tesco club card. So it's a bit weird when it comes up and says hello Anita, but yeah, it's the only way to do it, because it will get hacked and all your information is out there. You give it away freely. Never allow cookies, or only essential cookies, although there's a way of stopping essential cookies. I do that as well. But yeah, there's so much data online, and that's the easiest way to destroy a country now, by destroying the infrastructure that is reliant on the internet. And I think that's what they're doing. They're practicing all over the world. Australia's getting a lot of outages with their banking systems. They're ahead of us on cashless society, and their banking system keeps crashing. They say it's just human error, or it's a system update that's gone wrong or something. But I reckon there's some involvement there from nations that are trying to hack and just test out how it works and how long it takes for countries to recover and that kind of thing. Because that's what you do. You have a little dig, you have a little poke, you just test the water, don't you, before you do a full-scale attack. But there's no reason why Russia or China couldn't completely destroy the infrastructure without setting foot or even sending one bomb over the entire of Europe, because we are so reliant on being online, and it's such an easy thing to attack, and they're just not looking at it. Oh, let's get submarines. Well, that's good, isn't it? They're probably tied into the internet as well, so if you hack them, they can actually use their submarines to bomb us. Genius. So no, we need to go into cybersecurity more than anything else. Man sleeps through huge 5.8 earthquake after downing 10 pints as the hotel shakes. I mean, I'm not one to judge people by the looks, but yeah. Now, we had the guy last week who slept through the ship nearly destroying his house, and it wasn't a little ship, it was a massive container ship that nearly destroyed his house, and he slept through it all. It was only his neighbour ringing his doorbell and banging on the door that woke him up. This guy slept through an earthquake. I've slept through earthquakes as well, admitted not 9.9 or 5.8, but I've definitely slept through earthquakes and tremors and all this stuff. I'm a very heavy sleeper. Once I'm asleep, that is it. Iconic ITV show finally returning with lots of big names battling out to host. The classic game show Blind Date may well be returning to our televisions over 20 years since broadcasting legend Cilla Black introduced singletons, some of which are still married, most of which hated each other. It doesn't mention that bit, does it? Will I be watching it? No, I'm sure it's been back before as well, on maybe as a novelty thing on, like, I don't know, Comic Relief or something. I'm sure it's been back as a one-off or a two-off. Sheep's farts could be banished forever as part of a new anti-guff plot. Experts exploring ways to identify farm animals who emit smaller amounts of gas and then select them as part of the breeding programs to reduce the environmental impact. So basically, if you don't fart a lot, you're going to have lots of babies because they may not fart a lot. So genuinely, I should never have had children. Spotty blokes warned to stop hiding, embrace acne, and start doing 3 things. More than half of men with spots admit to avoiding social situations when they have a flare-up. A third skip going out on nights out or a date with a nights out or a date, while a quarter won't even go to the gym. Now, I've had bad skin my entire life. My mum said to me when I was 13, "Oh, don't worry, it'll die down in a couple of years," and here we are. Years later, and I've still got crap skin. So yeah, I can kind of empathise with this. But you learn to live with it after time. If you're that young guy there, he doesn't look like he's got bad skin at all. AI generated, to be fair. But yeah, if you don't love your body, then how do you expect anyone else to love it? And with all its flaws, we've all got flaws in our bodies. Just embrace them, and just get on with your life. Stop stressing. A space study says robots will mine asteroids and goods will be made in space. The report predicts a new era of space exploration as well as revolutions in how we use the solar system, with made in space being a badge of honour. Bring back bacteria and kill us all. Talking about not having children. What's the best way of not having children? Apart from the obvious. Yeah, condoms. What's this? Hang on. Dum-dum-dum. Using your body again, sue them. LOL. Oh yes, that was my body then on that man. That man's body was my body. Although I've since shaved my very hairy chest in the middle. Playful 200-year-old condom discovered with really off-putting erotic drawing. I mean, I don't know what's erotic about that drawing, but it doesn't look very erotic to me. The 200-year-old pyrolactic, which isn't thought to have been used, thank God for that, showed the playful and serious side of sexual health. It went on display in a museum in the Netherlands. Of course it did. Holland, Netherlands. It's going to do, isn't it? Yes, it's just been pointed out that obviously they've used my body and put someone else's head on it, which is really annoying. I hate it when they do that. Meanwhile, this is a weird one. Woman who died for 11 minutes shares chilling warnings about what she saw. Herself in EastEnders? I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. But this is Charlotte Holmes from the US state of Alabama, and shared her astonishing near-death experience after she died for 11 minutes, saying she saw heaven and hell. Now, I don't claim to have died, but I did, when I was young, have some teeth out at the dentist, and they put me under anaesthetic. And whilst I was under the anaesthetic, I had the only nightmares I've ever had. I was in basically like a burning environment with flames everywhere and things around me. I remember it vividly. And then all of a sudden, like that, it was, all that went, and it was this, I mean, I don't meditate, I don't think of these things, but it was this field on a hill with a house with a little bit of smoke coming out the top of it and everything, and there were birds were tweeting and all that kind of, I was only 10 or 11, and I was like, okay, that was a weird experience. And then I came to, and I'd had my teeth out and everything, and then I got home and I realised my underpants were on backwards and inside out, which I don't remember doing when I got dressed. But anyway, I'm not saying anything happened. I might have been a bit nervous that day and not noticed when I put my underpants on. But yeah. Oh God. But yeah, doesn't she look like oh God, what's she called? Dum 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 dum. Not Barbara Windsor, it's the other one. Oh God, she was in Benidorm as Wendy Richards. She looks like Wendy Richards. Unbelievable. Talking looking like Wendy Richards. Donald Trump. Donald Trump's White House blasts BBC for misreporting over Gaza coverage. US President Donald Trump's White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt, accused the BBC of accepting Hamas's account of Israeli security forces shooting dead Palestinians. Well, we have to accept someone's account of what's going on because Israel won't allow won't allow any foreign press into Gaza. So who are we supposed to listen to? Pauline Fowler, that was the character's name, yeah. Also in Are You Being Served as well, as a busty blonde. Meanwhile, Putin facing new invasion. This is cool. As 1 million strong antelope swarm destroys Russia's crops. Farmers in Russia's Saratov region have begged President Vladimir Putin to help them deal with a swarming population of Saiga antelopes. Now, Saiga antelopes are very old antelopes over the age of 50 going on holiday, which have destroyed crops and contaminated water supplies by peeing and pooing everywhere. Get in. Oh, I bet it's Ukraine behind it. He'll probably blame Ukraine. Now, this picture is going to shock you, or it shouldn't do. It's going back to the Madeleine McCann thing, where we were talking about it being 18 years ago. And if you remember, Madeleine McCann, when she tragically disappeared, was 3 years old or thereabouts. And they had twin brother and sister who were also in the room, who were untouched and were still there in the morning. And obviously they're grown up. They were younger than Madeleine, and one of them is hoping to become an Olympic swimmer. And there he is. That apparently is Sean McCann, who is Madeleine McCann's younger twin brother. Madeleine McCann's and his parents as well, and his sister, Kate and Jerry McCann, are supporting their son Sean as he chases his Olympic dream as the investigations for a trace of his missing sister. But yeah, you kind of forget, don't you, that people grow up when they're not in... They still grow up when you don't see them. But yeah, obviously, strapping lad if he's going to get into, or even has a shot at being an Olympic swimmer, you've got to be, pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Fit for that. Donald Trump humiliated for banning travel from a country that doesn't exist. Now remember earlier I was on about the 12 countries. The US President announced a new travel ban will completely prohibit nationals from Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan and Yemen. But 43 countries were up for consideration. Thing is, one of them country no longer exists. It's the same list he had when he did the list of countries when he was president first time round, which was a while ago now. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the news that is breaking. No, it's not. That's the end of the news that's funny. We're now going to go on the news that is breaking. Calls for UK drivers over the age of 70 to face major licensing change. I think I would be up for that if I was 70 and still driving. With Dunza Youssef resigning from Reform UK. Multiple earthquakes hit city's military base where nuclear weapons were tested. No further details. Manchester city centre tram stop hit by flooding. Springsteen is in Liverpool. Again, vaping could be even worse for your health than smoking, new research says. It's not new research, it's fucking obvious. The lasting impact of fatal crashes. I mean, obviously, without kind of diminishing the effect of a fatal crash, the lasting effect is that whoever was fatally killed in the crash is going to remain dead, and the families are always going to miss them. I mean, that's a given. So I don't understand why that would be a news story. WH Smith's on track to start disappearing from my streets this month. WH Smith's has been bought out by another company who are putting their name all over the shops, which makes no sense because it's not a well-known name. I've never heard of them. I can't remember what it is. And WH Smith's name has been known for years. If you brought the name, why the hell would you change it? A bit like the company who've bought Eddie Stobart's truck company as and then rebranded it Kaluna. It makes no sense. Defence Secretary pledges to put NATO first and step up for European security. New buses to be on our roads as funding and dates are announced. That's in Liverpool. BBC bosses warn of crisis as TV licence faces overall. Advertise. Use advertising. God's sake. It's not rocket science, isn't it? Trump threatens to impose sanctions on Ukraine. What the? Russian ambassador partly blames UK for Ukrainian drone attack. We'll mention that. Stormer to pursue bereaved families for tax after winter fuel U-turn. There's nothing this this person can't actually do and think is okay he can do. I mean, seriously, I just don't believe him. And he can't see it. He cannot see what is wrong. The polls have closed, I think. There's an election up in Scotland. It'd be interesting to see how Labour do in that. The guy is an absolute pleb. He shouldn't be allowed out of the house. We should put him in a thing somewhere and lock him up. Birmingham bin strike could last till Christmas. Boy and girl killed, 80-year-old dog walker in cowardly violent park attack. The boy gets 7 years for killing a man. I mean, seriously. Judge threatens to remove Sean Diddy Coombs from court over facial gestures. I think it's just his resting face. 12,000 drivers a day avoiding Blackwall and Silvertown's tunnels following the introduction of tolls. Oops, so the traffic is snarled up everywhere else. Motorists face £2,500 fine and driving ban for breaking caravan licence rules on UK roads. Boris Johnson post-Brexit student exchange scheme cut as UK plots Erasmus return. Not sure about any of that. We got anyone chatting in the room? Oh, hang on a minute, that's gone wrong. That's the one I was after. No, no chatting. No chatting. Why are you not chatting? Let's have a look. I think that's it. No, it's not. Investigators congratulate themselves as Madeleine McCann's search ends. Oh. Illegal immigrant can stay in UK for daughter. What? Illegal immigrant can stay in the UK for daughter he does not speak to. Now, it's not on here, but Kemi Badenoch has said that she wants to leave the ECHR, the European Court of Human Rights, if she was Prime Minister, so that we'd have to put up this nonsense. I mean, there was the case, wasn't there, where there was a gentleman who was a sexual, well, he was a paedophile, basically, and he wasn't sent out of the country after being convicted of paedophilia, because he wouldn't be able to offer his children a family life. I'm like, I'm sorry, if my father was a paedophile, I wouldn't want him anywhere near me. Never mind keep him in the country so he can keep talking to me. What'd it be? Oh dear. Andy Burnham issues statement on future of B Network £2 bus fare cap. He said he was going to look at mid-time this year, and no doubt it'll go up to £3. I'm not going to get clickbait. I'm not going to go on it. Oscar Pistorius competes in Durban Triathlon 20 years. What? Oscar Pistorius completes in Durban Triathlon 12 years after murdering his girlfriend. He shouldn't be allowed to ever compete again in anything. Never mind in Dubai. I mean, yeah, he served his time, but as we've said before, people who are dead, they're not going to come back, so why should he get his life back? He murdered someone. I think that is it. Oh, Rachel Reeves hands herself dangerous powers to control pension pots. Fan hit by falling debris at Dodger Stadium says the cops first had asked him about his immigration Fans hit by falling debris at Dodger Stadium says cops first asked him about his immigration status before he got care. Only in America, eh? Well, it won't be for long. Cargo ship carrying 3,000 cars catches fire with smoke seen rising from decks loaded with EVs. Oh dear. So EV cars tend to catch fire more than standard cars. This is on a ship. There's 3,000 of them. EVs are full of chemicals with the lithium and all the other stuff that they have in them. That's going to sink into the sea because that fire will never go out until it's underwater. Even then it probably won't go out. It's going to contaminate the seabed and probably miles and miles and miles. And people tell me that electric cars are the future. They are not. Glastonbury Festival 2025 announces full lineup and stage time. Oh. I think that is it then. Teenage pedestrian dies in collision involving electric bike and car. That's in London somewhere. So just the headline. Severe storm hits Munich. Fans scramble as hailstorm delays National League semi-final. So yeah, I think that is it. I think we've covered enough news for this one. So there you go. So we've had 52 viewers, average of between 8 and 9. Get more views after it's gone live, to be fair, later on rather than now. But thank you very much to everyone whom has been involved with this. So Angela O'Kane, NE, who was very briefly in, Calderdale, Top Cat, Kim Brad, I hope you're good as well, T, obviously. Yeah, all good. We've been on for an hour and 7 minutes. I like to do round about an hour. We did have a bit of a flow with the chart, which was really good. I'll say we should do one with humans currently around who are killing more people. Thank you, Angela. Can only do it with you guys being there though, so I appreciate that. I don't remember having a drink recently, so we're quite a way behind here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. I no doubt we'll be seeing you again next time. Until then, why am I so far behind? There we go. Until then, bye! Cat's gonna come in. I know she is. Whenever I say bye, she does. Like, you know, just leave it. I've got Lego kits. I'm that busy working so hard that I don't get home till 8 o'clock, so I haven't had time to do them yet. So yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's do my police squad thing. Bye, T.